Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I want to welcome you to another episode of the AM Show. And today I am very excited to bring you Eli Voneast. Eli Voneast has grown his social media following to a very sizable extent. And today we're going to be honing in on the topic of Instagram. I want him to share maybe his tips, his tricks, and some advice. And most importantly, I want him to share his journey, and I want you to learn because as you will hear, it is not an overnight success story. It is a story of grit and hard work. So welcome. This is the AM Show with Arts Music Lawyer, where ambition and motivation meet persistence and drive, where your wildest dreams come true and even the greatest possibilities become realities. Listen to people just like you who stay authentic to who they are and master the art of their craft. Are you sharing the art of you? The art of you is music to my ears. Stay focused, stay on track. Create a new lifestyle with ambition and motivation. The AM Show. This episode is sponsored by the law firm of Marcella Dominguez. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or artist looking to protect your brand, then Marcella is right for you. Marcella has worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs like authors, clothing brands, Amazon sellers, consultants, and entertainers. Protecting your brand does not have to be tough. Let Marcella save your brand before your business name or slogan gets pulled out from under you. Go to marcellatm.com to learn more.
Hi, how are you doing?
So tell everyone who you are, what your business is, and let's start there.
Okay, my name is Eli Voneast. My clothing company is called Voneast. I've been doing this now since 2014. Like you said, it hasn't been an overnight thing. I've had to, to succeed, you have to fail. And I failed miserably in the beginning to try to find my niche and exactly how to navigate not just business, but the clothing industry as a whole. Honestly, a lot of people think apparel is something that's easy. I go to the airport, I fly a lot, I travel a lot. When I speak to people, I meet literally every time I go to the airport and, I may have a conversation with someone, they'll ask, oh, well, how do you get started with the clothing company? Or the one that you hear a lot is, oh, I have a really good idea for a t-shirt. Let me be the one to tell you, it is not as easy as a lot of people think to make t-shirts. That's where I started. I sunk about $4,500 into my first business venture. That's, finding my LLC, and, incorporating ourselves, getting bank accounts, yada, yada, yada. None of the fun stuff. So I finally got to the point where I could start, being creative, come up with really cool t-shirt ideas that I thought people would like. Long story short, miserable failure. I sold 5 t-shirts. 3 of those t-shirts I sold were to my girlfriend's coworkers. And then 2 other t-shirts were actually sold to my relatives. This was very disheartening, to say the least, just based off of all the hard work that I put into it. I'm a go-getter. I never quit, regardless of, what it may look like. So I said, okay, what do I need to do to make my business successful? Basically, what I had to do was do a lot of research that in the beginning I didn't think of. Firstly, don't just sell what you think you'd wear. That's number one. Most people are very multifaceted. I may like something that I think is cool. You may not think is cool. So you have to, kind of navigate your way just like that. Ask questions. That's one of the most important things to do. Take your ego and your feelings totally out of the equation and see what people want. Okay. I mean, I've had people, straight up tell me, I don't like how the website looks. I don't like how this t-shirt looks. I think you should do more here or there. Now, you need to be able to, take notes. Don't get bogged down by every little thing. You're not going to be able to please everyone. But you do want to find those people that are going to, want the things that you're selling. I made the decision to just say the heck with it and not do t-shirts. T-shirts are a whole nother monster in and of themselves. I don't draw, and it's difficult to find someone that, can draw. You're going to have to more likely partner up with that person so that, you guys can try to, find a good melding of what you want, what they want, and overall what the consumer is looking for. What I did was I went in a total different direction. The direction I went in is cut and sew, which is daunting. Looking into it, when you say jeans, hoodies, stuff like that, like it's scary because you don't know how much this stuff is going to cost. Most people think you have to go in here with, thousands of pounds, 20, 30, 40 grand to start a reputable business. That's not true. I'm going to tell you guys something that most people in my industry probably would be upset at me telling you. The best way to find a manufacturer is go to Alibaba.com. That is the place that is going to put you in contact with so many overseas manufacturers, reputable manufacturers. Alibaba does the majority of the work for you. They should be paying me for this plug right now. But what I did was I went on to Alibaba.com. I found a reputable manufacturer in China. I would say find yourself a manufacturer in Bangladesh, China, or India, Pakistan. Those are where you're going to get your best prices. I started with, my initial investment was for 4 styles of jeans, 100 a piece. I had $5,000. That's shipping, the whole nine. From that small investment of $5,000, that yielded about $70,000 in revenue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So wait.
Yeah.
How did you, how? Explain that.
Okay, so what you want to do is, this was in 2015, before the whole influencer craze really kicked up. I just got in contact with, like-minded, cool kids that would wear my clothes. I got in contact with them and said, look, I'll give you free clothes if you give me, a couple of minutes on your time of your time on your, daily video vlog. And you'd be surprised how many kids are just like, you know what? These are like up and coming YouTube phenoms now. But at the time, these are like guys like me starting out trying to, make a name for themselves. At that point, my social media following began to kind of perk up once I start going into more so cut and sew. I was emulating a lot of the designs that a large amount of, very expensive fashion houses were making. Essentially, I was just like, you know what? I think that's a cool idea. I think I can make that better. And that's what I did. I got a few pair of jeans, a style of jean. I just improved it, made it better, slapped the hourglass on it, and I threw it out there. And just to see how people would gauge. Again,
let me ask you, the strategy that you used, was that the only strategy where you kind of, partnered with these up and coming?
It's more than that. People aren't going to be interested in what you produce unless they like it. You have to make cool stuff. At the end of the day, that's the name of the game. Right. Make cool stuff that people want. And you want to price it where people can afford it. A lot of people want to get rich quick, and it doesn't work like that. When I first started selling my jeans, I started selling my jeans at $100 a piece. I sold a fair amount, but it wasn't to the point where I wanted it to be. So I took a tip out of H&M, Zara, or Forever 21's playbook. You price it to where people can afford it. You make it where it's going to last, and it's going to, season to season. This is something that isn't going to, it's not a one wear and then you're done. It's, this can be your, your favorite garment. You can wear this, to work, to school, hanging out with friends.
A staple.
Exactly. You want those staple pieces that are going to grow and go with a lot in your wardrobe. So what I did was, like I said, I got in contact with people on Instagram. I used at the time, I think I may had 5,000 or 6,000 followers. So I was beginning to get there. And like I said, I was, living on social media at that point. Snapchat was like just coming out just then. So Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, realistically, most millennials and Gen Zers are not really into Facebook. Facebook is kind of transitioned into more like a family, friends apparatus. So people aren't really on it like that. Instagram now is, you can literally build your own image. And I love that. I was a small business working out of my home. I literally, like I said, I took a $15,000 loan out. From that $15,000, I put in $5,000 was just to get started. I put another $5,000 to the side, just in case something happened. Long story short, I bought these clothes in, I want to say late 2015. Okay. Fast forward to February 2016. I am broke. I have no money at all. I pretty much put everything that I had into this. I sent maybe 30 care packages out. Okay. And I remember one day I was kind of sitting down on my couch. I wasn't having a good day. I just was like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Like, I don't understand. Like, I've done every single thing I can possibly think of to generate buzz, and then all of a sudden, like, my phone just started like buzzing like a lot. So I'm thinking, like, is my phone malfunctioning? Like, what's going on here? And I was making sales, and I'm like, I told my girlfriend, I'm like, Julissa, I just made like $500. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, bro, I just made $500. She's like, oh God, so we're happy, we're ecstatic. And it just kept going, kept going. I said earlier, like, I started with my price at $100 a piece, and I brought it down substantially. I spoke to an industry insider that I knew, and he told me, he was like, Eli, why don't you go the H&M route? Go do the H&M thing. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. He was just like, Eli, your clothes are cool, bro. Everybody likes your stuff. You'll sell more if you price it better. So I'm like, all right, Kevin, you know what? The hell with it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Best advice, I swear to God, he ever gave me. I priced everything at $40 for a pair of jeans that, I was pretty much paying nothing for.
So is that the selling price now?
No. That was, the selling price is actually going up because I've made a lot of like quality changes. So I brought the quality up, but I've only gone up like $10 in price.
So what is the selling price now?
The selling price now at like a normal pair, Voneast denim jeans is $50.
Okay.
Now you're getting, I literally give people the same quality denim that you'd get from like a Fear of God or Rude or, something like that.
Right.
So you have, my clothes are, like a very high quality.
Awesome.
Priced well, because I feel like I was a fluent kid growing up. I had a lot. Kids around me didn't, though. My mother, used to buy clothes for kids. So I know what it feels like to be a kid. And, you know, a friend is being bullied because, you know, their parents may not have money. So I wanted to make sure that everyone could afford these clothes and look cool, and it's something that's going to last them.
Nice.
I think that's also very important. I've met kids in a mall that kind of recognize me, and they're like, "Oh my God, I know you from Instagram," and I'm like, "Oh, well, I appreciate it." Like that's really cool.
That's awesome. We're gonna touch on Instagram, but just to
Yeah,
kind of recap what you said, because I want to make sure that these are, you know, the points that people are taking home.
Yeah.
One, something you really emphasized is the price. The price point has to be right.
Price is right.
Price is right.
It's 100% of, you know, of your business. Clothing as of right now is saturated. You need to differentiate yourself between yourself and your competitors.
Okay.
Your competitors are going to come out with essentially almost the same thing as you are.
Mm-hmm.
You need to outprice them, and your look has to be on point.
Okay.
You can't sell anything if people aren't enticed to buy from you. I can literally go on Instagram right now, go to the style section, and there are thousands, millions of pictures of people that are trying to sell clothes. And the difference between the people that sell and those that don't is their image. Image is important, just as important as pricing. I'm not going to spend $800 on a pair of jeans that I can get for $50, and if they're the same exact thing.
So first pricing, second image, and third thing?
The third thing is I would say you need to communicate with your audience. Communication is key, like in any relationship in life. These people are giving you their hard-earned dollars. The least you can do is to communicate with them. At this point, like I have a customer service team, but I even now, to the point where I am, I'll take customer service calls. I'll just to gauge what the consumer's everyday interaction with my brand is. I want them to be happy. Without your consumers, you're nothing. At the end of the day, you're nothing.
Right.
Like I was saying before, that the times where I sat back and I really didn't have the money, and like, thank God, like I did so much work, like I put so much sweat equity into my business that one day it just kind of, you know, it's like beating on the door constantly, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in, to, you know, to the point where like your hands are bleeding. Eventually the door is going to fall down, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I had. I literally went from one day having $500 in my bank account to having 35,000 in a week.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah. That's great. Good job. Congratulations. I love these kind of stories. They pump me up. So I want to touch on number 2 though, real quick. Imagery. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, who helped you, you know, in the initial stages with the imagery, because you already recognized that it was so important, especially when you were bootstrapping or when you were on a tight budget.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. I was bootstrapping it. I had literally, I have a large following myself. I think I have like almost 20,000 followers. My brand has, I want to say 48,000. So I can kind of hit you with like a 1-2 punch. I put in a lot of, I just put a lot of work into seeing what people like. So I would just go on to other, you know, Instagrammers pages and just kind of see how people were perceiving, you know, their looks, how they were putting things together, staying on trend. That's just as important. This industry is very centralized around materialism.
Yes.
Very to the point where you have a lot of kids that don't have the money, and they just kind of, I know people like in the beginning that, I'm not going to tell you his name, but he has 400,000. I think he just hit like maybe 500,000 or 600,000 followers. So what he would do is we would go to the mall, he would, spend his entire check on clothes, shoes, etc., or order online, Yeezys or whatever the case may be, wear it one time, we'll take a few pictures, and then he'll just take it back to the store. Okay? People don't know, like, that's what a lot of these guys that have like millions of followers, that's what they do. They go to Barney's or, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, whatever, buy these very highly expensive clothes, take a few pics, and take the stuff right back. It's all based on the image that you put forth. If you put out that you have a bunch of money, you're going to attract businesses that actually do have that money, that are willing to pay you thousands of dollars to just take a picture. I know guys literally on Instagram that make, for one picture, make 10 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's insane, because I'm like, dude, at one point, like, we were at Barney's and you were, spending your entire check on a pair of shoes or a pair of jeans or a scarf or a watch, whatever, and then taking it right back the next day. Image is important.
So how did you create that image, or that, because I've seen the photos. I mean, they're cool. They have like besides the fact that they're modern, they just have like a, how would you describe it? Like an edge to them. They're edgy. They're edgy and modern and crisp.
Exactly. What you do is, if you go onto my company's page, the majority of the pictures on there are actually my customers. So I'll tell them, like, everyone wants to have a following on Instagram, and I give them that platform that they want. So I'll say, look, if you spend $50 with me, or $30 or whatever the case may be with me buying my product, and if it's good enough, I'll post you, the whole nine on my page. And people are going to, you'll gain a following. You're helping me, I'm helping you. It's a joint partnership.
Right.
I help my consumers build their clout on Instagram, and they help me put forth good imagery so that I can sell to more people.
And so they took those photos?
Yeah. My customers, they'll take pictures, they'll buy stuff, they'll take pictures, they'll just tag us. I'll, see what I like, get in contact with them, ask them for their permission, and I put it up. Me personally, what I do is, I take a lot of, I'm like every other guy my age. I have a ton of sneakers. I just take cool pictures of like shoes, like I literally was driving back to LA for work. I literally stopped on the 10, jumped out of my car, and it was like nobody on the freeway. And I like literally sat in the middle of the street, took a picture, jumped back in my car, and like took off. That's what it's about. Like, you need to kind of find those, one in a lifetime moments, that people are going to really say, like, damn, that's a really cool, that's cool, man. Like, where did you get that? Another thing, if you want the art of selling people without selling to them, you don't want to, everybody wants your money, obviously. I want your money. The way to sell to people is, I get stopped all the time. Bro, what is that? Oh, where did you get that hat? Dude, that t-shirt is badass, yada, 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 that hoodie, whatever. Oh man, I just got this off the internet. I found this company. Now, I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not to the point where I need to, like, you don't need to know I own the company, I'll just tell them, oh man, they're called Voneast. These jeans were actually only $50. Oh bro, really? Yeah, man, you should go check them out. The same thing on Instagram. I just put forth good content, and I let the consumer make their own decision. Look at my, perfectly priced garment opposed to someone that's literally selling the exact same pair of pants that I am for $1,000. $50, same product, different label, same style, the whole nine, or $1,000. Like, it's freaking night and day. You can buy an entire, 4 or 5 outfits, actually more than that, maybe 10 or 12 outfits for $1,000, or just one pair of jeans that then you got to go, find a, super expensive t-shirt to go with it, yada, yada, yada.
Now, wait, I want to ask you, do you think that these strategies that you talked about would work now, especially with the saturation on Instagram?
Okay, so again, to differentiate yourself between people, you need to do that, you have to do your research. It's possible, because I see it every day. Especially being a guy, a girl can get on Instagram right now, put on like something sexy, and she has a 1,000 followers in a week, And for me, like, I really have to put forth the work, like, realistically. But I feel like if you're just like, true to yourself, cool, and just, like I said, interact with people, be a human being at the end of the day. Don't be one of these people like you're too snobby to have a conversation with someone on Instagram. Humble yourself and talk to people. I have so many friends that I've actually met on Instagram, and they're just, ask questions. That's another thing. I've met so many people that have helped me, just on Instagram. Like, it's crazy. Like, networking is the name of the game, and you can meet so many cool people if you just speak to them.
Yes.
Communication is a lot. Like, I am a normal guy. I have a career like everyone else.
Oh, well, that leads me to help people understand what your journey has been like. I mean, you explain to them you have had a career. What has your career been? What hours were you working?
I actually used to work at Amazon. Like, I was a supervisor in shipping at Amazon. I wind up quitting because I just didn't like how they were treating people, frankly, like in a warehouse. It just wasn't cool at all. And I just kind of said, one day, I said, the hell with this. I'm not going to, I couldn't, it was just stressful. They would, fire people like on holidays and stuff, and like walk them to the door. It was crazy. I just said, I've always wanted to own my own business since I was a kid. Like, I grew up like, in the 90s, everybody was like making their way and doing their own thing. And then being a teenager in like the 2000s is just like, okay, what am I going to do? And this is before social media like really like took off to, where it is now. I would say follow your heart at the end of the day. Don't quit. Don't let your circumstances stop you from succeeding in the industry that you're supposed to be in. Your dreams and aspirations and goals are important. Don't waste your opportunity. Don't waste your time. Like, that's why like my company's logo is an hourglass. It's the most valuable commodity ever. Time.
Yes.
Don't waste it. Don't rest on your laurels. Don't sit back. And I procrastinate my butt off to this day. And I have to like Eli. Like, I literally got my company's like logo in my hourglass tattooed on me. Like, be the legacy. Be who you want to be. Do what you want to do. Don't sit back, wait 10 years from now, look back and like, damn, I had an opportunity to do that and I didn't. Now I'm stuck at this, 9-to-5 job, busting my butt for almost no money. I'm stressed out. My family is falling apart. Do what you're supposed to be doing. Follow your own dream, period. Your dreams are what you make it. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. It's just what you do with those hours that put, people in different situations. I think that's important.
Well, I know that persistence is definitely key. And I know that it's probably hard sometimes to maintain motivation just because, as you mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, we all have bad days.
Yeah.
So on those bad days, are there any artists or songs that really pump you up and just get you going?
I am like the most eclectic person on planet Earth. I will listen. Oh my God. I'm listening to White Snake one day, Tupac the other, maybe Uzi the next, Jay-Z, Kanye, etc. It's really just based off of how I feel that day. I literally listen to pretty much everything under the sun, but country and like jazz, because that like to this day puts me to sleep. That's what my mom was like my lullabies when I was a little boy. So to this day, I'm a grown man. If you put on like some smooth jazz, I'm out. Like cold, it's funny. But yeah, like I feel like I listen to a little bit of everything. Literally a little bit of everything. I think I'm a huge Kanye West fan. Always have been. And, you know, Kanye West, to me, like really meant a lot, just to me growing up, being a young Black man at that time. Like, there was either like, you're like the thug Black guy, or you're like the, you know, athletic Black guy. And I was more so just like a normal guy, everyday kid, you know, and I used to wear like, you know, like Old Navy and like Banana Republic and stuff, you know. So he came out and he was just like, he kind of like, him and Pharrell kind of, you know, like they were like my role models growing up.
So what song from Kanye in particular hits you?
Oh my God. I'm like I love like obviously old Kanye. That's like when he like first came out, but It All Falls Down is hands down my favorite song he's ever put out.
Can you sing a little bit from that song?
I can't do that.
Just a little. Don't worry. We'll also play the video right after you sing that.
Oh man, I can't. Oh man, like you're putting me on the spot here.
Do him justice. Do him justice.
Oh man. Oh gosh, it's a lot of cursing in that, like the verse that I like. Damn. I mean, I could put the song on for you.
No. Just sing it. Just sing it.
Oh man, the hook. Oh man, damn. I can't even like. I'm having a freaking. Oh man, it's Selena Johnson is on the hook, and it's it just says all falls down. I'm telling you, whoa, it all falls down. I believe when I was a kid, just based off of the way I spoke, the way I dressed, the way I carried myself. You know, it's like every looking at you, you know, you're a young Black guy, you got to be a stereotype, and that's just not who I was. You know, like I listened to like everything. You know, I was like listening to Kanye West and John Mayer, and when that shit was not cool at all. So, but me anyway. So, but I made it cool because I was comfortable in myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, if you like me, cool, bro, cool. If you don't like me, that's cool too. You know, it's all about your journey. It's all about you at the end of the day. Like, I don't want that to come across like you're just like thinking just internally, but something that my aunt used to tell me when I was a kid growing up, you can't help anyone else if you don't help yourself first. Mm-hmm. You can't give back to anyone if you're not put in that position to help. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do now. I give back to my community. I give a lot of clothes away. It's not just all 100% profit for me. It's about giving back to those less fortunate than myself. I feel like putting that energy out is the same energy that you're going to get back. One day when I have $1 billion company, I want to be able to look back and say, I did for my family and I also did for my community. A lot of people, especially on social media, you'll catch a lot of people doing like recording their good deeds. I don't think that's ridiculous. Me personally, to each their own. I remember a couple last year when those like really bad hurricanes hit. You saw a lot of like brands giving away. Mm-hmm. I just called my warehouse, told them to get 400 or 500 pairs of pants together, and I want you to ship those out to the Red Cross. I'm sure they need that. Not just that, but I spent my own money and I got a ton of socks, and I sent that too. I used to like do a lot of volunteering when I was a kid. And that's one of the main things, like a lot of homeless people and people who are actually in need don't have, is socks. That's like something like I'm actually working on now that we're probably going to be putting out sometime this year. I'm going like full force. We're doing a ton of different things. But I want kids to be able to dress from Voneast from top to bottom. And I want them to feel confident in, I may not have a bunch of money, but I look like $1 million. And that's what's important to me, is making sure that people have that inner fire that makes them want to get up every day and say, you know what, I'm going to, go, work my tail off, do whatever I got to do. It's all about self-esteem. And I feel like you'd be surprised what, a pair of jeans, a t-shirt and a hoodie and a hat can do for someone, just how they feel inside. I think that's, like I said, that's important, because again, I'm a human being. I've had down days. I've had, awesome days. The difference between me and other people is I sometimes have to pick myself up, dust myself off, and say, regardless of what the situation is, let's go work for it today. Let's go let's go chase down that, that aspiration that you have,
Well, I'm really going to end this podcast on that high note, because I think that what you said is really special and maybe something that entrepreneurs might not think about in their journeys. And that is what you mentioned, helping the community at large, helping the community that you feel built you and helped you become who you are. Or just simply a community that you've always wanted to help, and now you have that opportunity.
Exactly.
And so I think that's really special. And I also think that every single thing that you mentioned in this interview was spectacular, really. It is so value packed. I don't know how people aren't taking notes when they're watching this, because they need to be taking notes.
It's real quick. It's simple. Once you get your good domain, go to GoDaddy, get yourself a domain, go to your Chamber of Commerce in your whatever, state you're living in, get yourself an LLC, get yourself a bank account, EIN. Once you have that, once you have your bank account, manufacturing out of Alibaba.com, and then, image. Make sure that no one is going to want to wear what you put out unless it's cool. Make sure that you stay on trend, keep what's going on, in popular culture in the forefront. Make sure that the stuff that you put out looks cool. You never waste your time, nor do you waste an opportunity. Get what you see is cool. Those are the people that you need to go for. Those are the people that are going to, the way that you differentiate yourself is, regardless if you have enough money, a lot of money, is just put something together that you've seen is cool. You can have $100 in your pocket, and you can make your brand, your clothing, whatever, look like it's $1 million. A picture is worth 1,000 words, literally.
Really? One last thing. When did you realize the value of a trademark? When was that important, and when did that cross your mind?
Reading, I was reading, Start a Business for Dummies. And it was just like one of the things that were in the prereqs to starting a business. LLC, trademark, so someone can come in and take, a logo, a name, a slogan that you want to identify your company by. So I have a cool last name that just so happens to be my company's name. And another thing make sure you get a name that people can pronounce, because I've had to change my company's name from where it started to what it is now. My company in the beginning was Covenus Voneast. People cannot pronounce Covenus, so I just cut that off. It's just like, we're just going to go with Voneast. It's cool. It's simple. There you go.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on this podcast. I am just so excited, actually, about the value-packed information that you shared. I really do think it has been one of the best interviews that I've had. So I want to thank you so much. Tell people where they can find you, where they can reach out to you in case they have a question for you, or if they want to buy your apparel.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram under my name, Eli Voneast, ELIVONEAST, on IG. And then my company's Instagram is Voneast_LA. And my website is Voneast, VONEAST.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.